Man, 4 years. 4 years. Well, tomorrow. Tomorrow's my 4-year whatever and thing. It's hard to believe that I've been doing this for that long. I got started back whenever so many other people in the cloud were streaming, and it just seemed like a fun way for me to show off some games that I thought were interesting and that I felt didn't get the attention they deserved in their time. And here we are, 4 years later, still going. Dang. Feels like a lifetime at this point. Although I partly blame COVID for that. Because, man, that year of quarantine, that kind of... Whew, boy. Felt like everything was different before then. And so, here we are, 4 years later. Never would have guessed. If you can't tell, I'm actually just trying to stall for time. Yeah. Rar and Stuff Tracking, good to see you.
You're in my way, sir.
Nothing's gonna happen right now. So, time does march on, things change, and we have to change with them. And so it is with that in mind that here we are 4 years later. I have decided that it was time to announce my retirement. Retirement of that old PNG avatar. Bam! Rar and Stuff, everyone. I am Kessedrian. Having a little bit of an issue with this because I have not tested it live yet, and there's a slight weird delay between like the face capture and me like looking around and doing things. Like very, very increased noticeable delay. Whereas working great when I was just experimenting with it almost constantly over this past weekend. Like I'm looking over at my chat now. There it goes. Wait, no, that wasn't it. Wait, or was it? Aren't tech streams great? Yeah, okay. So, not quite perfect, getting there. I'm also, when I look over here, this is where chat is. This is my side monitor. I need to train myself, look forward, camera, other camera. So, hey, how about a story of how this all came to be? Oh boy. It began a long time ago, in the ancient times of October 30th, when Tracken, in chat right now, messaged me and said that a friend of his wanted to make me an avatar. He was just getting into VR chat stuff. That was a surprise to me, and I definitely jumped on that opportunity. I sent him a variety of pictures. There aren't a whole lot of my dragon, but I sent him what I had and told him what was wrong with every single one of them because they were all inaccurate. And he said, great. And he sent them off to his friend. A week or so later, came back, said, here's progress. I said, looks great. I love it. Can't wait to see the finished. And that was it. November, December. I didn't want to say anything because he was doing this purely out of the kindness of his own heart. And 1 second, I want to test something. Let me just stand up here. It's going to lose tracking for a moment. Let me turn this off. Okay, we better. Nope, we're just still delayed. Okay, well, the face tracking is delayed for some reason. The hands, spot on. Anyway, where was I? January comes around, and I get a message from... What is going on? I get a message from some person. I have no idea who they are. Or rather, it's not even a message. It's a friend request on Discord. I don't know who this person is, and I'm used to friend requests on Discord being from bots. Hey, I want to make an overlay for you. I will do graphics. Yes, you don't know who I am, and my portfolio is not on a website anywhere. Believe me. But his profile was actually, it looked legit. For one, it actually specified that he was a furry artist. And he said that, I haven't named him yet, and I'm not sure if I should. Tracken's friend had asked him to finish the job. For the first time since this all began, I messaged the friend, because it was someone I had known for years too, but never spoke to. And asked him, hey, what's going on? Is everything okay? And he said he was just really busy and he didn't want to have this on his backplate for an unknown period of time while he worked on other things. I said I was fine. I can wait. No pressure. Rar and Stuff Wilds. Look at that. Yes. It is a Durg. It is not totally perfect. I'm having some issues with face tracking. I'm gonna have to Google how to fix that later. But for now, it is continuing story time. It does look fantastic. I love it. I love my stripes. They are shiny. So, anyways, I ask Spots. Damn it, I just said his name. Spots. What in the world what's going on? Who is this other person? And he says it's fine. He doesn't want to leave this project on his back burner until he can get around to it at an unknown period in the future, and he will take care of all of this. Just work with the other artist. Rar and Stuff only. Lol, it's fine. I hope it's fine. I guess no one would actually be able to find him based on just the name Spots. And I go back to the artist, who I will name drop. He goes by Blue Wizard, was it 07? Or just 7? Hang on. Discord, help me out here. Or was it just... Nope, hang on. Where's your profile, buddy? User info, load faster, please. Oh, no, it's probably not loading his profile because I'm streaming right now. Crud. Well, I guess it doesn't matter because he doesn't have a whole lot on his gallery. Blue Wizard 69420. That would have been epic. I also definitely would have assumed that was a bot. But he didn't have a whole lot on his Fur Affinity page. Or on his Twitter. Actually, I couldn't even look at his Twitter because I am not subscribed to Twitter. I have no account with them. I will not be getting an account with them as far as if I have anything to say about it. And his Twitch page was also equally blank. Oh, wait, are we there? Are we there? Hey! Face tracking has synced up. All right, we are gold. Actually, we're black. And I tell Blue what I'm looking for, give him the specs, you know, black sclera, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, shiny silver eyes, silver stripes, but other than that, just black, white mane. It's a very simple Durgan. In fact, one might say that I am a dragon who has no frills, but I do. I do. Hang on. There. These. I have frills on this model because when I removed them, it felt like something was missing and I had to put them back. We can do that. Just send all your payment info to Yellow Swag Blue Wizard 69420 CC Stealer XXX. You forgot SSJ4 in there. And I tell him what I'm looking for. He had the pictures. Spot's already sent him all the pictures, and I just told him what was inaccurate about them so that he would know. And then he set to work, and it was like that very day he had a progress picture. And I said, it looks great, but I have a question. The solid black, will that be an issue, like crushing out detail and shading? And he said, yes, it will be. Because his own Sona was also black, so he knew. And I told him, do what you have to do to make it work. And just kind of gave him free license on that. It didn't take him much longer for him to come back with this, with the gray around the eyes and around the muzzle, on the chest, the wings. On other places. And so I said, it looks amazing. In the original, I had said, hey, I want like fleshy pink for the beans and the pads. And I told him, I love the gray. Let's make them gray too. So we are all neutral colors, except for mouth, except for tongue. Incidentally. Come on, track. Almost. Well, work in progress. The gray pads look good. I think they do too. It took him 25 hours from the moment he first messaged me to the moment he sent me the final picture, and I said, it is perfect. We are done. That was on, I think, January 8th and 9th. And once he had that, then I realized, oh no, I have no cameras. I don't have a webcam. I don't have a finger tracky cam. I have nothing. I did have the program I was going to use, or at least the program I thought I was going to use. It was called VC Face, and a lot of VTubers use it. I am not using that one now because I found a better one, a so much better one. Wilds, you remember Cardboard Box Dragon, how his streams have a special thing in it. He had a command where you could throw objects at him or drop them on his head. I asked him what he used, and he said it was a program called Tifa. Well, when I was looking online to see, how you set that up, I found something better. It's a program called VNyan, like cat Nyan. And it handles not only the avatar business, but it also can handle almost a node-based scripting. And so I believe it's time to turn things on. Blip, blop. There ought to be some new channel point things active now. I look forward to it. Perfect. And hydrate. Okay. Pie. Hydrate. So now I have that going. And Tracken asked me what my plan was for the camera. I already knew I wanted finger cam. And the one solution I could find for that is this little thing called the Leap Motion Controller. And some of you might know the Raging Brolita, also known as Marf Norelia. He has one, but his is kind of old. I need to ask him something whenever he gets here, if he comes in today. And if he doesn't come in, I'm still going to ask him off stream. I went online and I decided, you know what? I'm going to order this thing. I got $200 for Christmas, and that's going to be my stream setup money. This thing by itself was $130 plus tax, about $150. So there went a lot of that, but you know what? Worth it. Especially because I can confuse my face cam by doing things like this, and it freaks the hell out. Oh, something else that's important and actually super impressive about this thing. Wow. It reads this reasonably well. Cool. Poor confused Cam. Yeah, I'm gonna probably abuse this thing a lot. It's gonna be sad. But we're all gonna have a good time with it, right? Right. Right. Where was I? Oh, Leap Motion. So, ordered that thing. And then it came the question of what to do about the webcam part. And I had, well, Tracken had a great suggestion. An iPhone. Modern iPhones have a LiDAR camera, which is, I don't totally know the technology that surrounds it or how it works, but it's like able to map 3D environments and objects. It can perform like depth mapping. What's really neat is if I point my other camera phone at this camera, I can see the blinky light. And the LiDAR camera allows for extremely precise face tracking, which is less helpful whenever your avatar face is not as articulated as maybe a human face would be. LiDAR laser interferometry depth and ranging. Yes, that. It shoots lasers. Pew, pew, pew. Ah, lasers in my eyes. So that was his suggestion, and I thought, well, that's great, but iPhones are expensive? And he said it would be trivial to get me a used one. I assume he's just got a junk drawer, or maybe his hoard is iPhones and other Apple products. Correct me if I'm wrong. So, the idea of using a phone as a webcam was kind of interesting. I hadn't thought of that. And I needed some way to set this thing up. Fair. Yeah. I needed some way to set this thing up so that it could actually get a good view of my face. There were options, and not many of them were good. I was hoping to get one where it was just like a mount. I could just stick it on top of my monitor, call it good. No, nobody makes anything like that. And I suppose, in hindsight, the answer is kind of obvious why. Phones are very tall and kind of awkwardly weighted. And it would be difficult for the thing to like clip onto the monitor and then hold onto the phone at a reasonable angle and not like fall off. That would be bad. So the second option was a little thing called a gooseneck, and it's just this clamp that you stick on your desk, and it's got a real bendy, windy neck that you can just bend to however you need. It's that thing didn't want to move, but hey, it works. I ordered one of those, and it's holding the phone just behind the monitor, just peeking slightly above it. All that really needs to stick over is the camera anyways. So that was taken care of. The next thing was, oh geez, what was the next thing? Let's see, we got that camera, we got this camera. I guess the next thing was waiting for the iPhone to arrive. And it finally did. Back on Friday. That's why I made the post on Friday saying, we are go. Everything is gold. All lights are green. There was still a little bit more on the back end because to make the camera speak to the software, I had to get a software license, specifically so it would speak to Other. Other is my favorite program. So between... Oh yes, and also when the camera arrived, I think Tracken misunderestimated how far it was from behind the monitor, down and around to the PC. And the cable he included was a little too short, so I had to go get another one of those. In total, all of this equipment that I had to buy for this cost me just under $200. Now then, don't think that that's how much this actually cost, because, again, the iPhone he sent me, I looked it up. I looked it up to see just how much you were giving me on this deal. iPhone 12 Pro. It's the first model that had a LiDAR camera. $340. This model also was a paid premium model. So Spots bought the license for me to use this after Blue Wizard had finished the texture job, and I have no idea how much Spots paid him for the texturing. In all, there is zero chance I would have ever been able to do this on my own. So I am eternally grateful to Tracken, to Spots, to Blue Wizard for making all of this happen, because otherwise we would still be using the PNG avatar that Tracken made for me. And I like that. That was fun. I might still use it for something. It could be funny for like alerts, have it little pop up and do a little Star Fox. Oh boy. So, other miscellaneous things. The thing I wanted to ask Marf about regarding the Leap Motion is, does his also get super hot when it runs? That was one of the first things I noticed about it. Is it felt very, very warm to the touch. Like, hot, warm. And I thought maybe there was something wrong with it. But as far as I could find on Google, they were just saying, oh, no. It's fine. It can continue tracking accurately and temperatures up to 122 degrees. What? So I got a thermometer. It's a little infrared one, and you just point it at a thing, and I did not raise my hand. And you point it at the thing, and it tells you how hot that thing is. However, it's made for scanning humans to see if they're running a fever. So whenever I pointed it at this thing, it just said, hi. HI. Not even HIGH, just HI. Then I switched it over to its other mode where it can measure the temperature of liquids and pointed at it again, and it said 106. I asked Google, is that normal for this thing? Yes, it is. This thing normally runs at 106 degrees. I also noticed that the iPhone similarly gets very hot when running. I imagine after a 4-hour stream, these things are going to be cooking. Let's see, what else was there? Oh, when I received the texture, the retexture of this, it was all just the PNG files, because he could not send the model, and he couldn't send the VRM or the model file fully textured up and everything. And the reason for that is because it is a premium model, and the terms of service for it specifically say do not redistribute. That is going to be a problem later. Just put a pin in that and remember that I mentioned that part, okay? Right. So, I had to download the Unity engine, find the specific version that works with VRM. Thankfully, Spots was there to help, and he guided me through as best he could. He admitted that VRM, which is the format for VTubing, is not the same as the format used in VR chat, and he's not as experienced with this. So he could only help me so much. And also, I can only be helped so much. There's a lot of things that I needed to figure out on my own, because some of it is just, obviously, right? It shouldn't be this difficult, right? Applying the base textures was easy. Applying the metallic masking, that took a lot of guessing. Because Blue Wizard gave me multiple masks Said, compatibility for a variety of shaders depending on what I ended up using. He didn't know. So I had to figure out which of these masks I needed to apply and in which of the channels. And there's like 4 channels, or was it 3? Either way, 3 or 4 channels, and he sent me like 3 masks. There were 2 of them that I needed to use, and I had to push a button to have the Unity engine merge them together. Whole process was way more complicated than you realize. Me too. Me too. Then, when I exported the model into VRM, because that's the format I thought I would needed to use for this, the shader didn't work how I thought it would. It looked wrong. I showed Tracken the original pictures, and I basically asked, who wore it better? And I had different options selected for different screenshots. And then I realized, the reason the shaders aren't working is because Spots had recommended a different shader than just the basic VRM one. He recommended something called Poyomi. And for Poyomi, I had to export it as a different format. VSF avatar, not VRM. It took me way too long to realize that's what he meant whenever he said that, and to see, there's an option. It just says VSF avatar on the Unity engine. That option only appears after you've imported all of the packages to make this thing work. Once I did that, everything looked great. It was so perfect. And I struggled very, very hard to keep this a secret. Back when Tracken first mentioned this, came up with this idea and brought it to me in October. I wanted to tell some people, Narrow, Dracana, Wilds, I wanted to tell people, this is going to be awesome. But I thought, no. What if I wait? What if we wait until it is time? I feel like I was going to explode if I didn't tell anyone. And thankfully, I do have one friend who does not watch my streams. Hi, Sunaris, you are not here. I told him. He was actually really impressed with the technology that was being put together to make all of this happen. I was too, really, because, man, you think about how far we've come in such a short time. I have my own... I got beans. Beans. What else? There was something... Oh, yes. Yes. One more issue with the iPhone. Freaking drove me nuts when I hooked this thing up and I tried to put it on the Wi-Fi. It doesn't have a SIM card. It has no internet capability outside of its Wi-Fi connection. And when I tried to put it on the Wi-Fi, it wouldn't connect. I figured, I know what the issue is. It's MAC filtering. I have MAC filtering set up on my home network because my neighbors were assholes at some point. Those neighbors are gone, thankfully. But there was a day long ago when my neighbors would just hop onto my network. They figured out how to break the password. That was also back in the days of WPA. Don't ever use WPA encryption. It's less helpful than a password. It's so easy to break that it can be done in a second. Record scratch noise. I wanted to cut in right here because in stream, I was really distracted, really excited, and I horribly, horribly misspoke right here. WPA is fine. It is great. WEP, Wired Equivalent Privacy. That is what I was using back then. But anyway, WPA sucks. I set up MAC filtering so that only devices that had specific MAC addresses could get on my network. And now I have a list on my hard drive of every single device in the house and what its MAC address is. When I turned off MAC filtering, sure enough, the phone connected. And I made note of what the phone's MAC address was. And it was the one that it displayed. Why was it not connecting with filtering on? It was on the whitelist. Why is it not connecting? I had to go to Google and ask, iPhone, Mac filtering, WTF, mate? And Apple, for some unfathomable reason, has a feature that is on by default that randomizes the Mac as far as its public face. Why this is a thing, I don't know. But because of that, the MAC address would never match. And I had to turn that off, and as soon as I did, all good. Oh, there was another issue with the iPhone as well. When I first plugged it in, Windows was making that sound it makes whenever devices are constantly connecting and disconnecting and reconnecting and disconnecting incessantly. And that was another adventure I had to go on. I might work in IT, but I know very little about mobile. So I guess this is a learning experience for me. Turns out what was wrong was that my computer did not have the appropriate drivers to speak with the iPhone. And so whenever it tried, whatever service it was attempting to use would just instantly crash and then restart and instantly crash. And my event log is full of pages upon pages of pages and pages of this service breaking over and over again. Fortunately, there are very simple guides on how to install these drivers. All you gotta do is just go to the device manager and go to portable devices. You right click on the thing and you say install the drivers and you're good. Is what would happen if the device manager wasn't constantly refreshing because devices are being disconnected and reconnected over and over and over again. So instead I had to go into a folder that's in program files. Was it program files, Apple, something or another, whatever it was. And there was a odd file. I did not even recognize the extension in there. You right click that, say install. It's good. Yay! So this has been a major learning experience across multiple disciplines as I'm getting used to 3D modeling, 3D render, well, not even the modeling part, but 3D texturing in Unity and setting up the VC face and then abandoning VC face for VNyan and setting that up, and also learning that I can really confuse VNyan if I am looking like in a different direction when I first started up and it thinks, oh, this is neutral. Okay. If I'm over here looking at this monitor and I start VNyan up, then I look over back, well, this is not forward. This is forward. So it thinks I just turned my face this way. Or if I'm, looking down or even up at the camera, it thinks whatever position my head is in at the moment the program starts is neutral straight on. I have yet to find a solution for that other than just be looking directly into the camera, into the screen where I want neutral to be until the program loads, and it takes a while for this thing to start up. So that's been my adventures for the past few months. I think that's everything that I wanted to mention. And what I'm actually doing now for all of this is I have VNyan on my main monitor and I'm looking directly at myself and admiring my handsomeness while I speak. And it makes it a lot easier for me to track what I'm doing, where I'm looking, where I'm turning and facing and wibbly wobbling. It is story time, yes. I am a vain dork, but you would be too if you were this handsome. Oh, yes. I see the camera does seem to have issues whenever I turn to look at the other monitor. It loses track of what I'm doing, but only for a moment. Ooh, Cardboard Bax Dragon messaged me. Says yes. Oh, okay. He was just responding to a thing that I said on Telegram. So that's where we're at. I've got this brand new toy, and I have spent the last 3 days since Friday, since the camera came in and I got everything working, just playing with it. I would load all of this stuff up, everything, all my streaming business. Oh, the background you're seeing behind me, it's a little stock video I found, and I ran through DaVinci Resolve and did my little color changey light ray thing to it. And if you watch it, it's going to do a little explodey thing. That's whenever I just like crank the light rays up to max, and it did that cool effect, and I liked it. Wait for it. Kaboom! So, yes, all of this, even the background behind me, is a large part thanks to Tracken and him just arranging everything. This would never have happened without him, because I don't know if I could have justified the massive expense to get all of... to get all of the things that I needed to make this work. Squeaky. Oh, let's see. There were other things. Oh, there was a period when I was getting frustrated about trying to figure out a solution on how to hold the camera, how to mount the camera. Hee hee. And I decided, you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to get a basic webcam. Go to Best Buy's website and look at their Logitech cameras, and they had a, what was it, a 920? I don't know. They had something. The camera, the face tracking's off again, but they had something, and I said, okay, yes, I will buy this. I will buy it for pickup later. Just buy my dang camera. And they said, okay, you can pick up your dang camera tomorrow. It'll be ready. And I go there the next day, and I talk to the guy, and I say, I'm here for my dang camera. Here's my receipt. And he says, oh, we're sold out. You'll get a refund. Yes, yes, Leap Motion. That is the finger I am holding up right now. Thank you. So I ended up having to wait for the iPhone anyways, and I think the iPhone's going to work out better. Especially since it didn't cost me $60. It only cost me, let's see, the software license, the gooseneck, numbers. It cost numbers. I'll show you, asshole. Here's my index finger. How rude. Yes, I actually am holding my index finger up this time. I did also find out that I can do like expressions with this face, with this model and face, with my face. And it's not easy to do. I think I might need to make it more sensitive. The expressions is how I figured out how to do the come on, work for me. It doesn't want to work for me. Well, I had a blep. It was wonderful. Just believe me, the blep was amazing. It was the best blep. I wonder if the other expressions are going to work since that one's struggling. Okay, so we've got very happy. This hurts. I have to smile with all my might. And then we have sad. Come on, sad. I guess it can't be sad on such a great day. There's a surprise. Hey, surprise works. Okay. Surprise kind of looks horrifying. There are probably others that I just don't know how to set up yet. And I'm tempted to just maybe someday save up for a Stream Deck so I can just press buttons to change my emotes and my faces and not worry about the expression system, because that is hard to control. This is probably the longest I've ever... Yeah, this is the longest I've ever gone just bullshitting before a stream. But hey, I had things to talk about. I had things to show off. It's show and tell, everybody. Me. But I did have a plan. I had a plan for today of a game that we can play. I can play. You guys can watch and throw things at me. That's kind of like playing, right? And I suppose it is. I suppose we should get to it, right? We should get to it.